Alright, what I'd like to do is give you guys just a little bit of an overview of translated expressions. So first thing we need to talk about is a little bit what is actually an algebraic expression. So an algebraic expression is one that consists pretty much of numbers or variables that are either added or multiplied pretty much together, added, subtracted, or multiplied, divided together. So it consists of numbers and variables, and that gets us to our next thing, which is a term, which I'm actually going to write down. So my formal definition for a term, or term just may be a number. So an example could be 7. It may be a variable. So x is a term. Or the multiplied or adding them together, or the product or quotient of the numbers and variables. So let's just go through a couple examples. So examples of some terms. I said 7, x. You could also do 7x. You could do 7 divided by x. Or you could also include a couple other variables. You could do 3xp. We could also do z over kw. Even anything with that doesn't have any numbers involved. So anytime you have a number or a variable and they're either multiplied or divided by each other, it becomes a term. So that's going to lead us into our non-examples. Well, a couple non-examples is pretty much any time when you're dealing with, when you have something like 3 plus x, that is not a term. That's actually an algebraic expression because that's a term plus another term. So this whole thing is not a term. That's pretty much just a little overview of what terms are. The next thing I pretty much want to get with you is how to write the next thing dealing with powers. So hopefully you guys can write that down. So I'm going to go erase that. And the next thing I want to just kind of explain to you is a base and an end. So this is what we like to call our base. And here's what we like to call our exponent. And the way that we pretty much look at 2, or the power, raised to the power of 2, this is what we call a power function. And what we're looking at is, when we're talking about this, we're saying this means your base multiplied by itself your exponent or power multiple times. So itself n times. So a couple examples that I give is, let's say we look at 3 squared. So 3 is your base, 2 is your power or your exponent. And what we're saying here is you're taking your base and you're multiplying by itself to your power amount of times. So therefore it's going to be 3 times 3. You're multiplying by itself what your power is. So I have another example. Let's just switch my base and my power, and I do 2 to the 3rd. Therefore that's going to give me 2 times 2 times 2. So now so far we talked about what a term is. We've talked about what a power is and an algebraic expression. On the next video, what I'm going to get into is getting into how we're going to write them actually to translate expressions. So this is actually kind of a intro for that. And the next video, I'll actually get into how to translate your expressions.